Hey, everyone catch SNL last night? Wasn't it cool? Cool with a K, of course. Uh, nah. I am just reading out now a post by Mike Gorga. His posts seem to get a lot of responses when I post them verbatim. And he seemed to have touched a nerve with some people. And here's what he wrote. A lot of people responded. Just short, just a quick little message here. And some comments that I thought were worthwhile. He wrote, "What a disgrace SNL is. Fat jokes about Sarah Huckabee, and they make Trump gay for Spicer, and on top of it all, suggest Trump fired Comey, quote, to stop the investigation. It's not comedy. It's comedic propaganda designed to disgrace and undermine and feed their ignorant audience of leftists." And here are just some comments on that. Really straightforward here. Not much I have to elaborate on it. No, I have not watched it. No, I don't know. I wouldn't bother. So, no, I can't talk from firsthand experience, but I get the sense from hearing people talk about it. It was funny at one point. Eddie Murphy days. Actually, he was talented, and way back, maybe it makes me sound like an old timer, but nah. Here's what D.H. Parsons commented to that little writing by Mike Gorga. "Low-life, bottom-feeding, pond-dwelling scum. SNL has been going downhill for a long time now. I think they are trying to be as offensive as possible in order to secure the ratings from the liberal left. That is all that is keeping them alive, because their comedy has been quite boring for a long time now." Now, just a thought on that. It may be similar to what ESPN is doing. They know they're not going to get a mass audience. They know that the whole market is very fragmented. They thought, maybe the thought is, well, we can get at least a liberals, a significant segment that's loyal that way. That's maybe what ESPN tried to do. I don't know, but it's been speculated, and that's not my original thought about what people are trying to do. Gone are the days where you could watch All in the Family, the number one show on TV during the 70s, or MASH or something like that, and talk around the water cooler at work, or whatever the cliche is or was then. Say, hey, did you see that last night? Because, it's so fragmented. People don't watch the same things, and they don't necessarily watch it at the same time. So to that comment, after that comment, Deborah Pernice Kniefel out in Southern California wrote, "I never watched the show anymore. It used to be funny, but now it's just a bunch of political propaganda on the left. In fact, most of NBC is." And then D.H. Parsons writes again, "Hollywood is a self-perpetuating little club of superficial egomaniacs who, let me pronounce it right, egomaniacs, who fully believe that they are very, very smart and very, very talented, when in reality, all they are regular humans who fell into a job that allows them to do virtually no work, yet gain large amounts of cash for their lack of effort. Sort of like politicians, only they are usually better looking than politicians." I don't know if I totally agree with that. I mean, you have to have some talent to even write mediocre at times for TV. What I will say is, having been through the whole Ivy League world myself, there's a lot of self-perpetuating, a lot of hooking up friends who don't have that much talent but are good at getting along with people, and you hook up your friends like anything else. And people who went to, say, a state school just will never get into the club. That's something I've noticed, and you have to, of course, have the right political views, so you can virtue signal your way in there. You can make connections. You cannot make your waves into a job. But you have to have at least a minimal talent, I think. Keith Levenberg, always love what he writes. He's one of my real go-to guys. He writes, and I agree with this, "I don't even see propaganda as the main intent, just the side effect. What this is really about is reclaiming their relevance and the audience they lost to The Daily Show, which the SNL writers undoubtedly view correctly as having gotten where it is by stealing SNL's shtick." Well, I don't totally agree, because a lot of it was when Jon Stewart Leibowitz was on, and it was him talking and interviewing, which really was not Saturday Night Live's shtick. The politics, the political side of the spectrum, but I wouldn't say it's quite that way. And The Daily Show now, under the unfunny Trevor Noah, I will give Jon Stewart Leibowitz at least some credit for having good comedic timing, good stand-up skills, even if he was a leftist. Certainly more talented than Trevor Noah is. Charles Cecil just writes, "Disgusting." Deborah Pernice Kniefel, I've met her before. I hope I'm pronouncing both her middle and last name correct. Most of them fell into that job because they had nothing else going for them, and in order to succeed in Hollywood, you have to risk everything, give everything up, and be at the beck and call of your agent 24/7 for a bit part, and hope that it becomes something someday. Of course, Saturday Night Live is done out of New York, not LA. I'm sure there is some talent among them, yeah. But frankly, most people that really have anything going for them rarely are willing to give up everything just for a sliver of a chance to be on some TV commercial or have a walk-on spot on some TV series. I don't know if I agree. I know because I had 2 children who had fun doing TV commercials and stand-up and improv as children, and had their SAG cards, SAG, Screen Actors Guild cards, but by the time they got to high school had other more interesting activities that they pursued. Jeff Whitaker writes, every late-night show has an a-hole puppet as a host. It's old, boring, insulting, and a waste of time. That's, of course, a contrast not only to Johnny Carson way back when, but much more recently, Jay Leno, who was not a leftist like this. Harvey Lang simply wrote, agreed. Then this is fun. Ron Raducanu. It wouldn't bother me at all if that had been vicious with Obama even a little. Now, make sure to see the links I put up there about the way Saturday Night Live satirized, Barack Obama. Equal opportunity comedy, you know. This is obscene, though. I'm hoping much of this will sway even more people away from the mania of the left. Then there was a response to that from Keith Levenberg. Yep, their recurring gag, this is absolutely right, Keith. Their recurring gag about not that I watched, but from the little I heard, their recurring gag about Obama was, look how sane and smart and reasonable this guy is and how stupid everyone else is for giving him such a hard time. And of course, the virtue signaling there is the black guy's so much smarter than the white people. You know that's what it is. And then Keith adds, ha 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 ha. Then he continues, I think at one point their head writer was actually quoted saying they couldn't even think of any quality of Obama's to satirize. I have no doubt he sincerely believed that. And there was a response to that from Ron Raducanu. He wrote, I should have been one of their writers. Plenty to laugh about and about Obama. Plenty to laugh at and about Obama. They were just chicken fecal matter. Didn't want to be labeled as racists. Brian Schmidt writes, the one good thing, I almost said another word that sounds like Schmidt after I said fecal matter. Brian Schmidt, the one good thing is, and that would have been accidental, the one good thing is no one that voted for Trump cares what is on SNL. I don't know if that's entirely true, but largely true. If Trump fights for the wall and jobs and succeeds, we'll be laughing then. Well, I'm sure they'll find something to I'm using the term virtue signal enough, to act like they think is funny, and then they can sort of be clapping seals, whatever. Look, where I went to college, I know the type. Deanne Thebus, the more they disgrace themselves, the more obvious they are. So just some thoughts. I don't think I really need to spend more time on it than that. Make sure to see the links for contrast about the way SNL treated Barack Obama. Thank you for watching.